TNCRadio.LIVE, your commercial driver navigation station.
Good afternoon. This is TNCRadio.LIVE, and this is the Truckers Network Radio Show with your host, Shelley Johnson.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. We're all about trucking on the Truckers Network Radio Show. We offer drivers the information, news, entertainment, comedy, and trucker music nobody else offers. You know, the life of a trucker's changed a whole lot in the past few decades. Technology's driven a lot of those changes, and headsets are something drivers need, and they're mandated in many states if they're on their cell phones. But they need really good ones that have noise cancellation features, great battery life, and audio quality. We wanted to know the things truckers need to consider when they purchase a great headset. To do that, we invited Bill Schlegel, Director of Sales for Travel Centers with BlueParrot. Welcome, Bill. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thanks, Shelley. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Could you tell us what drivers need to consider when looking at headsets, and what are the technologies today?
Yeah, you bet. Hey, first of all, can we just say, a big thank you to the professional truckers across the country. I mean, this has been an unbelievably taxing year for everybody, and for the work they've done to keep the country running during this pandemic is just greatly appreciated and probably still undervalued. But we love those guys and gals and really want to give them a big shout of thanks.
We totally agree. Thank you for giving them a shout out.
You bet.
Yeah, we've noticed that recently it seems like people are forgetting what important role they play.
Oh, imagine where we'd be without them, especially this year, with empty shelves and people needing emergency things that they weren't able to get.
Yeah.
We'd be in a whole lot of hurt.
We sure would be. Yeah. So just, in a nutshell, our products engineered for superior communication in high noise environments. BlueParrott is leader in intelligent noise canceling audio solutions. When you engineer world-class microphones and combine them with unrivaled noise canceling technology, you get BlueParrott. And they're absolutely headset that deliver superior call quality in high noise environments. That's really the key, right? These professional drivers are driving in some really noisy environments, and it's really important that the person on the other end of their phone can hear what they say. So we feel, and I think you've already hit on a couple of them, the things that are really important to those drivers are incredible sound quality and noise cancellation in noisy environments, with best-in-class ambient noise cancellation, so they can be heard by the person that's on the other end of the phone. We know they need to be reliable and durable. Battery life is key, and all of ours are, right around 24 hours plus of talk time, 100 hours of standby, 500 hours of standby. Range is really important, up to 300 feet with Class 1 Bluetooth, so they can walk around their truck in most cases and still not lose signal if the handset is in the cab. We have A2DP, which is the technology that allows music and directions to be streamed. Bottom line, it's, we want to make sure that they're as safe and efficient in that vehicle as they can be. And one of the other things that a byproduct or benefit of this incredible sound and noise cancellation is if that driver is using any digital voice assistant like Google or Siri or anything else that might be voice activated in their cab, the noise cancellation and sound quality makes that experience much better as well, because that voice is uninterrupted by any ambient noise that might cause a disruption in connection or ability to hear between the driver and that voice activated.
Oh, that would be awesome. I've got the other one whose name begins with an A. I don't want to say that loud because I'll set it off here in my office, but I'm going down the street and I'll say, let's say your name is Amber. I'll say Amber, and I'll wait, Amber, and I can't get him to hear me because the noise, just the noise in my car is too much. I can only imagine what it'd be like inside of a truck.
Yeah, it's we do a lot of. We really miss the Great American Truck Show and the Mid-American Truck Show this year, and that's the time we really get to talk to the drivers and understand what they're looking for, what kind of headset they'd like to wear, what their pain points are, what they're trying to address, how we can make their lives easier, and we missed that. And I remember last year at the Dallas show, we talked to an aircraft helicopter technician, and he was telling some people that he was working on a helicopter engine, speaking to the parts department while it was running, and they were able to hear his voice.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's phenomenal.
The sound technology is just incredible.
It's really come a long way in just 10 years. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you think so, the company BlueParrott was founded in or VXI was the parent company originally, was founded in 1990, originally as a headset provider for the contact center market. And you know how noisy those environments are. You might have hundreds of people in a contact center taking calls from customers, and they don't want to hear the conversation of the person next to them.
Sure.
So that went on for 10 or 15 years, and they were some of the best headsets you could get for that industry. And then it became apparent 2005 or so that sound quality, that technology could be really beneficial to Bluetooth headsets. So we launched or announced BlueParrott headsets at the Consumer Electronics Show in 2005. And then in 2008, we launched a complete lineup of products, and really started to take off in the professional trucker market.
I've heard a lot of drivers really talking up your products. They said that they're just really superb, and certainly they're in very noisy environments.
Yeah, you bet. And we don't rest on our laurels. We want to make sure that we deliver what we promise we will. And, to that, we also have, what I feel humbly is probably the best customer service experience in the industry as well. We have people that man the phones Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And they can troubleshoot an issue over the phone and make sure that driver is taken care of in a very short term.
What would you say are the biggest features that truckers really need to look for when they look for a headset?
Well, I think that number one is the noise cancellation. That when they're talking to somebody, it's imperative that person on the other end of the conversation can understand and hear what they're saying. And then I think after that, it's, battery life. You've kind of touched on that. Battery life, the sound quality, it has to be reliable and durable. And most of our headsets are IP54 rated, which means they're resistant to dust and water ingress, and they're made extremely durable. Battery life is absolutely a key feature, as well as range. And to most drivers today, again, the ability to stream music and directions through the A2DP technology is very important.
How do you do that? If you could do it in a non-technical way.
Yeah, it's a feature that's built in to that software and to that platform. So all of our headsets now currently support that feature.
I imagine it's a huge demand now.
Yeah, especially with a younger demographic that spends a lot of time off the road listening to music, watching shows.
Sure. Well, and they've listened to all kinds of programming when they're driving too, and then they're able to talk to the dispatcher and various other, they want to call home at the same time, and you offer that kind of versatility.
You bet. Yep. Yeah, and for their sanity, the ability to keep in touch with somebody, especially when they're driving long hours and far from home.
Well, when you think about it, they really have more limited places where they can socialize. The truck stops and so forth, a lot of them in different states aren't necessarily open. A lot of places don't have dine-in service, so they're talking to themselves, and if they don't have a CB, oh my goodness.
It has been a tough year for them. Yeah, our heart really goes out to them, and again, just a world of gratitude and thanks.
Do you have headsets, or I'm sorry, is it headset? Is that the right way to say it, as opposed to headphone?
Yeah, I say headsets is proper.
Okay.
Either way, it's a headset, but headsets I think is a common name.
Sure. Do you have headsets that cover both ears or just one ear?
Well, so most states, in most states, a driver shouldn't, by law, have both ears covered. But we do offer a stereo headset version.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're hoping that that's used for downtime, Skyping with home, watching a movie, listening to music in their downtime in the cab, or when they're just relaxing.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that because that was going to be my next question is, well, some states have these different laws and rules, but I guess we're coming to the end of the time here, Shelley. I guess when we come back, I wanted to ask some questions about truckers and hearing issues and those kinds of things that they've been experiencing and how these headsets might help and some of that too.
Sounds good.
That's terrific. You're listening to TNCRadio.LIVE. This is the Truckers Network radio show. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking to Bill Schlegel with BlueParrott. Stay tuned. This is the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.LIVE. I'm Shelley Johnson here with Tom Kelly. We're all about trucking, the news, information, comedy, and music truckers want to hear. And today we have Bill Schlegel we've been talking to. He's Director of Sales for the Travel Centers with BlueParrott. Trucks can be super noisy. I think, Tom, you said it was at least twice that of a standard automobile.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for Bill about that?
Yeah, standard cars, Bill, I was reading, they have between 70 and 75 decibels. And then, and a lot of people don't know this, I didn't know this till recently, that 80 decibels is twice as loud as 70 decibels and so forth and so on. So essentially, sitting in a truck, just driving down the road, it would be the same as standing next to being 1,000 feet below a propeller plane flyover, or standing next to a food blender for hours. And we know that a lot of truckers, as they retire, are complaining of hearing loss, mostly because they spend all the, many hours, hundreds of thousands of hours sitting in the truck. And so I have to wonder if, and a lot of them have taken to wearing earplugs all the time now. It's just that bad.
Imagine that left ear that's, especially if they drive with the window open, that's been subject to that wind noise too, and the outside noise, coupled with the noise internally.
Yeah, it can get pretty loud in there. And so I was wondering, if I'm wearing one of your, not that it's a hearing aid or anything like that, not a medical thing, but I would think that wearing that would be better than just sitting there with no earplugs or anything for hours at a time. I'm not a doctor, but it just seems that way to me.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. We at the shows we talked about earlier, the Mid-American Truck Show and the Great American Truck Show, that unfortunately we didn't get to have this year because of the pandemic. That's when we really get to meet the drivers and hear what the real pain points are. And I think anecdotally, I think there's a pretty fair number of drivers in this segment that have some degree of hearing loss. And the really cool thing about our company, VXI BlueParrott was purchased in 2016 by the GN Group out of Copenhagen, Denmark. Probably not familiar to anybody that we're talking to today, but they happen to be the parent company for Jabra Bluetooth headsets, which is one of the top Bluetooth headset companies in the world. And additionally, under that same umbrella, Belltone and Resound premium hearing aids. So my thought is, my thought at some point, I don't think there's anybody better equipped in the industry to kind of explore that and at some point try to tie that together. Because I agree with both of you. I think this is an area that's really underserved. It's I don't want to say trial and error, but right now I think the best way to tackle that experience is to get one of these headsets and simply try them with if you're wearing a hearing aid or if you've got some degree of hearing loss, try one. Try one on both sides, both ears. You can rotate these. The booms flip, so you can wear it on the left ear or the right ear, and see what it does for the particular experience that you have. I remember we talked to a retired veteran at the Iowa 80 event in Walcott, Iowa, a year or two ago, and he came to our booth absolutely, with the impression that he needed a headset that would insert into his ear, that his hearing loss as a result of his military experience was so great that there was nothing on the market that would help him hear. And, we talked about experimenting. So we took our premium B550 and said, hey, would you kind of indulge us and let us try this? Let us pair this with your phone, and, why don't you make a phone call and see what you think. Tell us what the experience is like. And so we paired this gentleman's phone, and he called his wife, and there were tears in his eyes. I mean, he could hear his wife. I'm sure it had to do with, the 550 cupped his ear, the ear that he thought he had the most trouble with. But within a few minutes, he realized that, that we had a device. And again, this is not a medical device, and it's not made to be a medical device. Those are governed and licensed. But for this particular gentleman's hearing issues, he was able to hear by simply putting a headset on and covering that particular ear. So I think the best answer is, try one. My suspicion is that it will definitely enhance your current experience. I'd love to. I mean, we could have a whole show with our engineers and technicians about this particular challenge or application. I don't have the background to discuss it, but I'm glad you brought it up. But I think personally, there's a lot we could be doing going forward with that particular demographic.
That's an amazing technology too, and there are a lot of people who have hearing loss. So something like this would benefit many, many people, and don't really think about headsets doing that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it even more as protection. Like, if I put an earplug in one ear and this on the other, my overall ambient noise, if I understand the way your stuff works, I'm not getting all that truck noise that I was getting, 5 minutes before I did that.
This technology is in the transmit, so it filters out the ambient noise, so the person on the other end isn't hearing all that background noise.
Got it. Okay.
It does, because of the way it's designed, it does help muffle the noise inside the cab or that the driver experiences wherever they may be using it. But it's not intended to eliminate the internal noise or to cover the ears to eliminate internal noise for the driver. Right. It's basically transmit for the other end, the person that driver's talking to, so they can clearly hear what that driver is saying.
Got it.
How do your headsets compare, without naming names of other companies?
Oh, he can name names.
Well, yeah, everybody makes great products. I mean, bottom line is we have the number one selling headset in North America, line of headsets. We've sold 3.7 million headsets, and I have a feeling if you did an informal poll, you'd see that I would hope 6 or 7 out of 10 of drivers you talk to that used an over-the-head headset would recommend our product and continue to recommend and use it. We just we have a great product. It's technically superior. It works amazing. And if the driver happens to have a problem, we have the best-in-class customer service group. We get very few returns, and we have a whole lot of really satisfied customers out there.
And customer service is so important. It seems like that's so lacking in so many places today, and just having really great customer service really is a
and ours
is confidence.
And ours is amazing. Like I said, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. They take a call from a driver that's having a problem. They can triage the situation and the question and troubleshoot the particular issue that person might be having. And within minutes, I think we can either get a replacement or solve the issue that the customer's is having. And I mean, they don't even need to have the original receipt with them. All of our products are guaranteed warranted for a year, but there are some codes on the headset that the person at our customer service group can ask about, and again, make it really painless and seamless for that driver.
You'd said you were offering a free BlueParrott. Which model is it? I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, so we have our B550 XT. It's our top of the line piece. It retails for $199. It's the world's first 100% voice activated headset. So once you turn it on, everything you need to do with that headset is controlled by voice. So I'd like to give away. Let's give away. How about we give away 3 to maybe the first 3 drivers that text me with their name and shipping address.
They're probably busy driving, so we may have to.
Yeah, if you can get it to them
a little later in the show.
Sure. Yeah, that would be terrific.
So where did they text?
603-978-9140, 9140.
Very cool. A BlueParrott B550 XT. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So a couple other features all of our premium headsets have. We have what we call a Parrot button, and it's a button on the side of the headset above the controls. There's about 5 or 6 different things that a driver can program it to do. Out of the box, it's programmed as a mute button, but through our application, you can set up speed dials. It's got push to talk compatibility, and it's got a couple different.
Talk about the phone in more details. It sounds pretty exciting.
That sounds
good.
After
we come back from Heartland Christmas, you're listening to TNCRadio.LIVE. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking to Bill Schlegel. Please stay tuned. This is the Truckers Network radio show. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Bill Schlegel, Director of Sales for Travel Centers with BlueParrott. You were talking about one of your new phones, and we had to kind of go to break. Could you talk a little bit more about that? It sounds like a really cool phone.
Yeah, not phones, headsets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking.
Yeah, we were talking phones off air, and then you get stuck.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, I went back about 20 decades.
That's all right. No, yeah, all of our premium headsets have. They do a couple of things that are pretty cool. One is that they have this Parrot button that we talked about. So you can completely through the BlueParrott app. Once it's downloaded, you can customize that Parrot button, and it's right above the power and the volume controls on the side. So out of the box, it's device mute. But you can program it to speed dial. You can program it for any number of push-to-talk applications. You can use it to launch different applications. You can set it to check your battery life. There's a dozen different commands that you can set in there to make it again completely to make it completely hands-free and user-friendly.
How has the technology changed in the past 15 years? I know voice activation's come a huge way.
Yeah, voice activation is huge, and our 550, as we mentioned, is the first 100% voice activated. But all of our premium headsets again have voice control, so you can answer or reject the calls without even using your voice, so you don't even have to touch it. But just the noise cancellation, 96% plus. The battery life is phenomenal now. It's at 24 hours talk, 500 hours standby. The compatibility and interaction is greatly enhanced. The ability to stream music and directions. There's been some really substantial enhancements over the last 10 years.
When you've talked to drivers, and of course we haven't had any trucking shows really this year, what have they said that they really like, not only about your headsets, but what they're looking for?
So two things, and I'm so glad you asked that question. So they really like the fact that once they purchase a BlueParrott headset, they really never have to worry about whether or not that's going to work. I mean, we get very, very few returns, and our customer satisfaction index is phenomenal. We get great feedback from the drivers and the community. What they're looking for, I love your segment. I was reading a little bit about your segment where you're asking drivers to tell their stories. So I think we would love to hear more about what drivers, what kind of features they're looking for that maybe aren't available in a headset currently, or what pain point they're trying to address, or a particular wearing style that they're looking for, or any question that they might have, or any suggestion they might have in a headset that they're looking for as a business tool, because that's what they are for these people, right? If you're going to make an investment of somewhere between $100 and $199, you want to make sure that that device serves its purpose and works when it's supposed to, and the downtime is absolutely minimal.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
yeah, we would love to hear more about anything that a potential user might be looking for that they're not finding. So we've got the BlueParrott Drivers Club, part of our social media. We've got over 100,000 drivers in there now, and we keep in touch with those people once they register, and that's at BlueParrott. It's BlueParrott.com/drivers club, drivers-club.
Okay.
BlueParrott.com/drivers-club. We'd love to hear from these guys and gals and understand, what we might be able to do to help enhance their driving experience. But we let everybody know when new products are coming out, when a particular promotion is running, travel tips, stops and visits we're going to make. It's a newsletter that we can keep in touch with our customers at, that we really like to interface with them.
What kind of comments have you had in terms of what drivers do look for? And obviously their needs are unique from the average motorist. So,
yep, they want something that's light and durable, doesn't hurt their ears. Women don't like a headset that perhaps goes over the top of their head. So we've got C400 and C300 devices that
very cool.
Can wear 2 or 3 different ways. It ships right in the box with an over-the-head band and a behind-the-neck left and right wearable wearing style. So it's usually about wearing style, what's comfortable, and that's why we really like going to the shows, because we have all of these devices out there, and when the driver comes to the booth, they can physically try one on and just see what fits best on their particular head. Everyone doesn't have the same size head or the same size ear, so it really comes in handy when they can try one on.
And there's nothing worse than something that pinches you. That can give you a headache after a period of time.
You bet. And again, those are the things we really want to hear about. The real unusual cases where it's they're just having trouble finding something that works.
Yeah, I mentioned while we were off air a little bit ago, I'm amazed by your battery technology.
Oh, yeah.
Am I reading this right? You're 24 hours of talk time?
24 hours of talk time and 500 hours of standby. Yeah, it's really incredible.
It is incredible.
Yeah, with the technology and the chipsets that are used today, it's it's pretty robust and impressive when you compare it to other smaller discrete headsets that people might wear that don't have that same noisy environment to contend with. So
does BlueParrott and your company that kind of oversees all this, I guess they would be investing a lot in light and small and powerful batteries.
I'm sure those are absolutely premium. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Somebody asked me earlier how they could make me how could they make $1 billion, and I said solve battery problems. If you could solve the battery problems of the world, you'd make $1 billion easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the other things we didn't talk about too that all of our headsets offer. We're the only headset manufacturer that provides what we call a firmware update.
Ooh.
So as protocols change on Android or
Sure.
Apple phones, Bluetooth profiles tend to change profiles and protocols, and at some time, that might cause a headset to buzz or to lose battery life or to do something that it hadn't done in the past. With our headsets, we have the ability to send updated firmware to address any changes that are made in protocol or provisions on the Bluetooth profile. And just through a simple internet connection, a driver can plug in and within a couple of minutes upgrade to make sure they've got the most current software or firmware. And it's no different than, it's a maintenance item like, changing the oil in your car or truck. It's not cumbersome. It's an easy plug in. And again, within minutes, you make sure that you've got the most current firmware that's available for your device.
Yeah, I had one of the very, very first Jabra computer Bluetooth, where it had a whole little piece that you plug the Bluetooth into the computer, and then you can walk 5 feet away. I think it was very exciting. You could walk 5 feet away, and with each new computer, it kind of lost a little bit, and finally I had to say goodbye to it. But it was amazing technology. When I first got it, it was like everybody, "Where'd you get that? That's awesome!"
Yeah, I think about it, that's the forefront of all the technology we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It performs so well in the office environment, and the noise cancellation and sound quality and intelligibility was so superior that it was a natural fit for the trucking environment, and it's really paid dividends over the last 10 or 15 years because we're able to reproduce, that type of technology and that type of sound quality for an in-the-cab experience.
How many phones, or I'm sorry, I keep saying phones. How many headsets do you think you sell to truckers? I imagine you sell a lot.
Yeah, well, like I said, at the end of 2019, it was, approaching 4 million. So there's, it's a pretty big number. But I mean, there's a lot of people entering that space. There's unfortunately some pretty high turnover in the trucker world. So there's a constant evolving, base of new customers with, new and unique needs.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tease this so people continue to listen. We're going to be listening to Red Simpson, but Bill has a way for you to get a free BlueParrott B550 XT. But you're going to have to listen so that you can find out the number to text. And we're talking to Bill Schlegel, Director of Sales for Travel Centers with BlueParrott. This is pretty exciting stuff, and it's TNCRadio.LIVE, the Truckers Network radio show. Stay tuned. This is the Truckers Network radio show. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly. We're talking with Bill Schlegel, Director of Sales for Travel Centers with BlueParrott, and it's fascinating technology.
It's not voice controlled like our B550 that we talked about, but as you mentioned, there are a whole lot of drivers out there that want basic headset communication that's reliable, that works well. It's got great battery talk and standby time, and it's got excellent noise cancellation and sound quality. So we've got that device starting at $79.99 for that driver that wants that basic piece. But
that's a really good value.
Yeah, we've got everything in that gambit from $79 to $199.
And what's amazing is you're giving away the $199.
Yeah, wow. So if it's okay with you guys, we'd love to give away a couple of our premium B550 XTs, the world's first 100% voice-activated, voice-controlled headset. Yes.
Well, we're not going to stop you.
No, go right ahead. Tell people what they can do.
Yeah. So how about the first 3 listeners that text me at 603-978-9140. Include your name and your shipping address, and we'll send you a brand new B550 XT.
Fantastic.
Now, we know that drivers may not have the opportunity to be texting, so we may have to plug it one more time, and hopefully if they pull over and
do it safely.
Information, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they need to provide their name. What is it? Address?
Just name and shipping address, because we'll get a new B550 XT sent out to them right away. The first three that text their name, and I'll have their phone number because they'll text me their name and mailing address. Yeah.
And you can call them and say, "Hey, what do you think?"
I will thank them, and I want to ask them how the experience was, and I'm sure they'll love it.
So what are the kudos you've heard from drivers? I'm sure you've heard a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we get the majority of the people that we wind up seeing are just, hey, thanks for bringing us an incredibly high-performing headset that we've become accustomed to using and we know and trust. And we used the first one for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and I'm ready to replace it because it's perhaps worn out, or the battery isn't getting the talk and standby time that it used to, or you've got some new technology that I want to take advantage of. You've got this new voice-controlled headset and I want to be safer, so I want to try that. Thanks for doing what you do. Keep bringing us that kind of product, and we'll tell everybody that we work with how happy we are with how it performs, and it's been really good information. We get a few that have an issue for one particular reason or another, and we make sure they get taken care of. We didn't become the best selling headset in the industry by not making sure we took care of anybody that might have had some degree of dissatisfaction as well.
You make headsets and you listen, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Listening to customers, and that's how you improve your product, because you know what the new needs are and what people want. And how have headsets adapted to all of the electronics on vehicles today? I would imagine that can provide some noise and some interference. Just wondering if that's a consideration as well, or...
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things that we're working on, and I'm sure all of our competitors are, what kinds of things can we do to enhance that in-vehicle experience, that in-cab experience? How can we become more compatible to interact with voice-activated components within the vehicle and make the driver safer and more efficient? So there's no question that any voice-activated feature or functionality and any digital assistant that driver might be using, like Siri or Android or whatever they're accessing their digital assistant with, this technology with noise cancellation and superior sound quality enhances those experiences as well.
It's an important thing.
You bet.
So where can people go? You have about 4 minutes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you get a hold of us through any social media, Facebook or Twitter, on BlueParrott, BlueParrott. You can find us on any of that social media under that name, BlueParrott. We'd love for you to join our Drivers Club so we can let you know about new products that are coming, get some feedback from you. We ask for drivers to participate in new product demonstrations and test new products before they come out. We let you know about promotions that are running. We let you know about events we might be attending, and we're looking for your feedback. And that's www.blueparrott.com/drivers-club. blueparrott.com/drivers-club, and join our BlueParrott Drivers Club.
Well, that would be a great way to get feedback from the drivers, and they could give you some ideas. I'm sure they love doing that, and of course it's a great value if they can find out about new specials and so forth, and new products you're going to be offering.
Yeah, and our products can be found at any one of the travel centers: Love's, Pilot Flying J, Travel Centers America, Petro, and any one of the incredible, there's probably 1,500 to 2,000 independent truck and travel centers that offer our product. Also, Amazon and Best Buy offer BlueParrott products. But, we really, again, appreciate the drivers and what they do, and as well as our travel centers that keep those those drivers equipped with what they need to keep going, and that again is Love's, Pilot, Flying J, Travel Centers of America, and all of our great independents.
Now, I'd point out, if you already had the headset that you're giving away, you could just right now ask Alexa or Siri or whatever to send that text message. Just
correct.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's kind of a catch-22, but, see, if you already had one, you wouldn't have to pull over to text.
That's right. You would just ask your digital voice assistant to do it for you. That's
Isn't
a great
cool?
call.
Yeah.
Good
Look
idea.
at you. Yeah. You want to come to work for us?
There you go.
So
Tom's our tech guy.
Anything else that you wanted to mention to us or say to the audience?
No, just
before we head
again, thanks for the opportunity. Try one of our headsets, the BlueParrott headsets. I know you won't be disappointed. We've got, just ask another driver. I think word of mouth is really important in this industry, and hopefully they'll tell you that they've had a great experience, and if they happen to have an issue that needed to be addressed, that we addressed it politely and professionally and quickly and got them back on the road right away. But we have the number one selling headset in North America, available at all of our travel center partners. And again, just a big thank you for everything that you've done this year to keep America running during the pandemic.
Amen to that. They certainly work hard. You're listening to TNCRadio.LIVE.
TNCRadio.LIVE, your commercial driver navigation station.
Hi, this is Tom Kelly, managing partner of IMSICO LLC, doing business as TNCRadio.LIVE. The website TNCRadio.LIVE and any content or podcast related to the website are copyrights of IMSICO LLC, copyright 2021. All rights reserved. Any redistribution or reproduction of all or any part of the contents in any form is prohibited other than the following. We welcome you to download and play the publicly available podcast and share with others for personal use. Please acknowledge TNCRadio.LIVE as the source of the material. You may not, except with our express written permission, distribute or commercially exploit the content. And while we endeavor to keep the information up to date and correct, we make no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the website, the podcast, or the information, products, services, or related graphics contained on the website or podcast for any purpose. Any reliance you place on such information is therefore strictly at your own risk. For additional information, including details regarding monetization of this podcast, send email to podcasts@tncradio.live.